me.
How can we believe you? How did I raise such a vicious daughter like you? Kneel down now.
Being forced to my knees wasn't the lowest point. The nightmare began long before that day. In the attic, I was just a ghost, broken by the very people who served us. The attic's humiliation followed me to the hospital. Jiang Shuheng saw only a girl seeking attention, unaware my dress was a trap.
Gu Xingyao, what is wrong with you? Grandma is in the emergency room, and we don't know if she'll make it. Why on earth are you dressed like this?
His words were sharper than the needles they used on me. To him, I was just a schemer, a heartless woman who cared more about her looks than her dying grandmother. I tried to explain, but the words died in my throat. Returning home felt like an execution. My sister, Xingyao, was already weaving lies while the family prepared to strike.
Sister, you're back? That's a beautiful dress.
My own mother didn't even look at my face, she only saw the dress. They were all so eager to believe the worst of me. In their eyes, I was the villain, and Shengsheng was the saint they had to protect. The tension finally snapped. They accused me of pushing Xingyao, a lie so blatant it made my head spin. But in the Gu family, the truth didn't matter, only obedience did. I felt the air leave the room as they turned on me.
How can we believe you? How did I raise such a vicious daughter like you? Kneel down now.
I felt my knees hit the hard floor, the impact vibrating through my bones. I knelt there, not out of guilt, but because I had no choice. I looked at their faces, searching for a single spark of doubt, but I only found cold, hard judgment. I couldn't let Grandma die, she was my only love. I didn't hesitate to become a donor, ready to give up a part of myself.
Doctor, give my kidney to Grandma. I beg you, save my grandma.
It was my only chance to prove I wasn't the monster they thought I was. I was ready to walk into that operating room, unaware that even my sacrifice was being turned into a weapon against me. While I prepared to save a life, Xingyao was destroying one. She cornered the doctor like a predator with its next victim.
Dr. Zheng, your daughter is quite cute. With that little ponytail. Kindergarten ends at 4, right? Her grandparents pick her up.
She was using a child's life to control the surgery. My sister's cruelty knew no bounds. She wanted to make sure that even if I saved Grandma, I would still be the one who suffered most. Xingyang's threats weren't just talk. She was moving her pieces across the board, and I was the one about to be checkmated. The next time I saw her, she didn't even bother to hide her venom. In the quiet of the hallway, the mask finally slipped. She looked at me with a smile that didn't reach her eyes, mocking my very existence. She knew she had the upper hand, and she was going to enjoy every second of it.
So what? Not only that, I've also bribed the people at the old house. I have plenty of evidence against you, sister.
She admitted it. She was a fraud, a parasite living my life. But she was right in our parents' eyes. She was the daughter, and I was the intruder. Every word she spoke was a reminder of how much I had lost. I tried to fight back, to show them the truth of what happened at the old manor. I started to tell them about the dark attic and the whips, but before I could finish, the past literally lunged at me. Zhang Hua wasn't going to let me speak.
Let go of me. Let me go. Get off me.
He tried to silence me right there in front of everyone. The terror I felt in that attic came rushing back, a physical weight on my chest. I struggled against his grip, screaming for someone to actually see me, but my struggle meant nothing to them. Even with the scars staring them in the face, they chose to believe the lie. Jiang Shuheng's voice was the final nail in the coffin of my hope. He looked at my wounds and saw only deception.
Don't move. Stay still.
Numbness spread. With no family left, I was truly alone. A match was found, but my parents weren't happy for Grandma. They were glad the problem was solved at my expense.
Emotional distress caused the matriarch's heart attack. The patient must avoid any shocks. Be more careful next time. The matching results are out. Second, young mistress and the matriarch are a match. You can sign tomorrow and prepare for surgery.
They were celebrating my impending surgery as if it were a holiday. To them, my kidney was just another resource to be harvested for the sake of the family name. I was nothing more than a spare part. Late that night, Xingyao came to my room. She didn't need to pretend anymore. She stood there, basking in her victory, and told me exactly how little our grandmother's life meant to her. It was all just a game to her.
Sister, grandmother loves you so much. Too bad you can't save her. Now only I can save her life.
She held a life like a toy to break. I was fighting for the only person who mattered. Xingyao tore off her mask, demanding more than a kidney. She wanted my very essence.
I told you last night, didn't I? I just wanted to play a little game with my sister.
She used Grandma to force another sacrifice. I felt the trap finally springing shut. She held Grandma's life over me like a guillotine. Her sickening arrogance left me no choice.
But in my current state, I certainly can't do Grandma's surgery. I don't care at all. But that old lady, who knows how much longer she has left.
She was a monster. She was willing to let our grandmother die just to get what she wanted from me. I had to make a choice, and both options felt like a slow death. The test results revealed a truth the family couldn't ignore. For once, Jiang Shuheng didn't look at me with hate.
Yes, Miss Gu's internal organs are already showing signs of damage. I'm afraid.
My torture was laid bare. Was this my freedom? Or a deadlier game?
They whipped me and pierced me with needles. Are these scars reminders of how the servants taught me the rules? Or evidence of my jealousy?
The deadlier game didn't take long to start, and the rules were written in my own blood. Even with the raw, jagged scars on my back, screaming the truth about my years of torture, my so-called parents didn't blink. They didn't see a daughter in pain. They saw a biological resource that needed to be harvested. I bared my soul and my wounds in that hospital hallway. Yet their eyes remained as cold as the surgical steel waiting for me. They tried to buy my silence with a card, as if years of neglect could be erased. I was only their daughter when they needed a piece of me.
Perhaps I only matter to you because of Gu Xingxing. How ironic that only then I'm your daughter.
The woman who stole my life showed her venom. She thought I was still that broken girl from the attic, but I had changed.
Things that were once yours to take now depend entirely on me.
I gave them what they wanted. My bone marrow, my health, my very life force. But as I slipped into the cold darkness of cardiac arrest, the silence in my hospital room was deafening. While I was dying on that table, the family I sacrificed for was nowhere to be found.
Doctor, Miss Gu is having cardiac arrest.
The nurses saw the malnutrition my family ignored. My parents' shock was a lie. Their ignorance was a daily choice.
It was just a marrow transplant. Why is her reaction so severe?
While I was fighting for every shallow breath, they were busy comforting their precious real daughter over a dizzy spell. The monitor's beep was the only thing mourning for me. The contrast wasn't just cruel, it was a final execution of whatever love I had left for them.
I nearly ended my life saving Gu Xingxing. Yet over a simple dizzy spell, you all scramble to her side.
To save Grandma, I swallowed my pride and begged the monster who stole my life.
Sister, I've been framed. It's not that I'm unwilling, but Mom and Dad are worried about me. My life is much more precious than that old woman's life.
The mask slipped. She didn't want to save Grandma. She wanted me to crumble. She was a predator, thriving on my despair.
That old lady is the one you care about most, right? Is watching her fade away worse for you than losing your own life?
Jiang Shuheng believed her lies again. Blinded by her manipulation, he demanded an apology for a crime I didn't commit.
Gu Xingyao, how can you be so vicious? Kneel down right now and apologize to Xingxing.
The winds changed as Xiao Yichen returned. He wasn't looking for kindness, he was looking for the truth the Gus had buried.
Investigate Nancheng and the Gu family, especially this woman, Gu Xingyao.
I was just a bargaining chip.
Uncle, he can't even take care of himself. How is he not disabled?
My mother begged, using luxury as a leash. I took the deal for my own survival, wondering if Xiao Yichen was salvation or another predator.
Did me well? In the last 2 years, has anyone even thought of me?
Gu Xingyao, do you know what you're saying? Are you really willing to marry that cripple Zhao clan?
The Xiao manor was a crossroad. Xingxing's threats forced me to sever ties. I chose the cripple over Jiang Shuheng's fake pity. I wasn't just marrying, I was buying my freedom. The name Gu Xingyao would no longer be their leash. My body gave out. I woke up far from the attic, with Xiao Yichen listening to the secrets my skin had hidden.
Master, Miss Gu seems to have suffered long-term mistreatment. Her internal organs are extremely weak. It was likely caused by chronic malnutrition.
I saw cold rage in his eyes. I wondered if this cripple was more powerful than the entire Gu family. Xiao Yichen was preparing to burn their world down. He wanted retribution, acting as judge, jury, and executioner.
Damn it. Destroy everyone who insulted Xingyao. Just leave them barely breathing.
Hearing those orders should have scared me, but it felt like a warm shield. He was moving mountains to find a kidney for Grandma, using resources the Gus couldn't even dream of. I was starting to realize that marrying him wasn't a sacrifice, it was a promotion. The betrothal gifts drowned the Gus's greed. Xingxing, unable to stand my value, plotted a scandal to make me seem unworthy.
I heard the Xiao family was a titan, but I didn't expect so much wealth to be wasted on Gu Xingyao. Gu Xingyao, once Master Xiao sees you and another man fooling around together, let's see if he still treats you like his lady.
She thinks she can still play the same old games, but she doesn't know that the board has changed. While she dreams of my downfall, I'm signing the contracts that will secure my future. Let her plot. Her envy is the only gift I truly enjoy receiving. At the Gu house, Xingxing's fake kindness failed. When the mask slipped, Zhang Ma used force, but I was no longer helpless.
Don't move. Stop moving.
My mother stood by and watched, her silence a sharper weapon than Zhang Ma's hands. She even had the nerve to blame me when Gu Xingxing took a staged fall. The theatricality of their lies was exhausting, a never-ending loop of poor Xingxing and vicious Yao Yao. I was done playing my part in their script. The only person who could stop the madness was Grandma. She walked into the room like a queen reclaiming her throne, her voice trembling with a mix of age and fury. She saw through my mother's lies and Gu Xingsheng's fake tears. For a moment, I felt like I had a home again, but it was a home built on a crumbling foundation.
Xingyao, if you don't want to marry, grandmother will back you up.
I looked at her frail form and knew I couldn't let her fight my battles. To save her from the shock of the truth, I had to lie. I told her I was marrying voluntarily, that I wanted a home of my own. It was a half-truth. I did want a home, just one as far away from this house as possible. Jiang Shuheng's presence was like a bad smell that wouldn't leave the room. He came to me with that smug, arrogant look, acting as if he was doing me a favor by letting me marry into the Xiao family. He couldn't help but twist the knife, reminding me of my adopted status, as if it were a brand on my forehead. I realized then that I didn't just hate him, I was disgusted by my own past taste.
Gu Xingyao, don't be ungrateful. Marry that devil from the Xiao family. That's fine. At least you won't ruin anyone else.
I told him to get out. My voice as cold as the ice in my heart. Every word he spoke confirmed that I was making the right choice. If marrying a devil meant getting away from a saint like him, then I'd gladly take the horns over the halo. The banquet became Xiao Yichen's stage. He saw through Xingxing's games, looking at her like a stain on the carpet.
Gu Xingyao, this is all because of your seductive face.
When I stepped forward to help him, I felt a jolt of recognition. Those eyes, that calm authority, it was him, the boy from my past, the one I had protected when we were children. He wasn't a stranger, he was a ghost who had come back to claim what was his. And in that moment, I knew the Gu family was finished. Xiao Yichen stood, proving the wheelchair was just theater. A titan reclaiming his territory, he left Jiang Shuheng shattered.
I assume you're the adopted son of the Gu family, Jiang Shuheng, right? What's the matter? The fact that I can stand, does it bother you?
He claimed me as his wife right there, in front of everyone who had spent years trying to erase me. He warned them that any hand raised against me would result in the Gu family vanishing from Nancheng. It was the most beautiful threat I had ever heard. I wasn't just a bargaining chip anymore. I was the queen of the Xiao Empire. Alone at last, he looked at me with unexpected softness. The name he spoke unlocked a decade of memories. He was my Xiao Li.
Xingyao, I really thought you had forgotten me. My original name was Xiao Yichen. Then, my father was targeted by enemies. To keep me safe, he changed my name and sent me to relatives.
He explained why he had hidden his identity, how his father had protected him by changing his name. Everything clicked, the rumors about his legs, the sudden marriage proposal. He had come back for me. He had used the Gus's greed to rescue me from the very hell they created. My heart, which I thought was made of stone, felt a strange, terrifying warmth. Memories of our childhood flooded back the times I had stepped in to stop the bullies from hurting the shy, quiet boy. I realized that even then, I saw something in him worth protecting. Now, the roles were reversed, but the instinct was the same. When a group of low-life thugs tried to intimidate him, I didn't even think. I stepped forward, my voice steady and lethal.
In the future, if they ever mess with you again, just tell them Gu Xingyao is your sister. I've got your back.
I reminded them that they were messing with my people now. It was a declaration of war against anyone who dared to touch what was mine. Xiao Yichen watched me with a smile that could melt glaciers. He didn't need my protection, but he loved that I gave it. We were no longer two lonely children. We were a force of nature. He took me to our old hiding spots, confessing I was his light. He wasn't just asking for my hand, but my heart.
I was in foster care then, so I was insecure and often bullied by my classmates. You always stood up for me. Back then, you were so bright, shining like the sun right into my heart. From that moment on, I've liked you. Then my father sent me abroad. In a flash, so many years have passed. Xingyao, can you give me a chance?
I couldn't give him love yet. I didn't even know what that felt like anymore. But I gave him my loyalty, a promise that was worth more than 1,000 empty words. He had already found a kidney for Grandma, proving that his love wasn't just a feeling, but an action. I was beginning to realize that duty might just be the first step towards something much deeper. The peace didn't last long. I went back to the hospital to get Grandma, only to find Gu Xingxing acting like a petulant child. She tried to claim Grandma as hers, as if love were something you could steal like an identity. But Grandma knew the truth. She knew who had stood by her and who had only cared about the inheritance.
Gu Xingxing, let me tell you, Grandma is my red line. If you ever do anything to hurt her again, I won't let you off easily.
I drew a line in the sand that day. Gu Xingxing could have the money, the status, and the fake parents, but she would never have Grandma. I was ready to walk away from the Gu name forever, taking the only piece of humanity I had left in that family with me. The battle lines were drawn, and for the first time, I had the high ground. The final confrontation at the hospital was a masterclass in Gu family hypocrisy. My mother tried to strike me, her face twisted with the hatred she'd been nursing for years. She accused me of being filthy, of finding some random guy to satisfy my needs while my crippled husband was away. They had no idea that the man standing behind me was the very person they were terrified of.
Auntie, don't you recognize me?
His cold gaze meant the reveal would be devastating. Who would survive this den of vipers?
Mom, he is Xiao Yichen.
As Xiao Yichen's cold, piercing gaze pinned my mother to her seat, I realized the game had only just begun. The man they called a cripple was finally standing tall, and the reveal was about to be more devastating than any blow I could land myself. Gu Xingxing looked like she'd seen a ghost. Her elaborate lies were melting under the heat of his presence, and for the first time, she had absolutely nowhere left to hide.
Mr. Xiao, don't be fooled by this woman. She's extremely devious. She's definitely after your fortune.
Seeing the power shift, my mother tried to play the misunderstanding card, but Gu Xingxing was already clawing for survival. She tried to paint me as a devious gold digger even as her own mask began to crack. I didn't need to argue anymore. The truth was a weapon she couldn't outrun, and every word she spat only dug her grave deeper. Victory felt hollow. Years of abuse had left scars that even wealth couldn't heal.
Afraid it will be hard to conceive in the future.
At that moment, my grief turned into a cold, hard diamond of hatred. I would make the Gus pay for every piece of me they had broken, starting with the fraud they called their daughter. At the Shao Manor, Yichen promised protection. He destroyed the blackmail photos, but I wanted the truth.
I know everything. Those photos, I've already had someone destroy them.
I asked him to help me unmask Gu Xingxing once and for all. I needed evidence to show the world the viper they were nursing in their own home. The Gu house was a viper's nest. My father tried to force me to kneel before the fraud who stole my life.
I'll give you one last chance. Apologize to Xingxing.
I stood my ground as he reached for the paddle. I wasn't that helpless girl in the attic anymore, and I would never bow to a total fraud again. Yichen's voice stopped the blow. His icy look made my father tremble.
To think you would bully my wife like this? You really have no respect for me at all.
Watching my father stutter and beg for forgiveness was the first time I felt the weight of the Gu family name finally begin to crumble under the power of the man standing by my side. While the Gus were busy blaming me, the viper they raised was already planning her escape. Gu Xingxing drugged them and tricked my father into giving up his safe code, proving she never loved them.
You guys really love Gu Xingxing, don't you? Too bad she's long gone.
She left them with nothing but a house full of debt, and the realization that their princess was actually a thief in the night. The truth came out. The birthmark and illness were a performance. Their precious daughter was a stranger.
President Gu, Mrs. Gu, I'm sorry. The truth is, Gu Xingxing was never your biological daughter.
My mother's world shattered right there. They had traded a diamond for a piece of glass, and now they were left with nothing but the shards. Cornered like a rat, Chen Qingqing finally showed her true face. She didn't just steal a name. She admitted to the cold-blooded murder of the real Gu Xingxing in that storm long ago.
Quickly, seize Gu Xingxing and turn her over to the police.
As the police dragged her away, her screams of witch echoed through the hall. The monster was finally gone, but the damage she left behind was permanent. My mother begged for forgiveness, but tears can't erase 20 years of betrayal for a killer's sake.
Indeed. You raised me for 20 years, yet you wouldn't trust me at all. Just because of one sentence she said using Xingxing's identity, you kicked me out to the old house and let me be humiliated. And because of another word from her,
they didn't love me. They loved having a shadow they could control. I looked at my parents and saw only strangers who had traded my marrow for a lie. Jiang Shuheng offered a ring now that I was powerful. His sudden love was disgusting.
But now, those words just make me feel sick.
I walked away from his fake pity and the Gu family's shadow, finally ready to breathe on my own and leave this den of vipers behind forever. Cutting ties was just the start. With Yichen, I'm finally free to be myself.
Redemption doesn't come from forgiveness, but from a complete separation and crowning oneself. My story will no longer be written by others.
Is she really safe?